Welcome to our channel. In today's video, we are focusing on gut health amongst the elderly, with a special emphasis on digestive issues that affects millions of older adults around the world. Research conducted in the US found that more than 30% of men and women over the age of 60 suffer from a condition known as atrophic gastritis. This condition is marked by little or no stomach acid secretion, a state referred to as hypochlorhydria. Even before this stage, after the age of 50, many individuals, and particularly women after menopause, experience a gradual reduction in stomach acid output. A decline in stomach acid production has two major consequences, both of which are especially relevant to the elderly. The first is small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, commonly referred to as SIBO, and the second is malabsorption of essential nutrients. One study that measured the prevalence of SIBO with a hydrogen breath test revealed that the condition was present in 15.6% of elderly individuals, compared with only 5.9% in younger adults. This shows that bacterial overgrowth is nearly 3 times as common in seniors, largely because of impaired stomach acid secretion. At the same time, proton pump inhibitors, or PPIs, rank among the top 10 most prescribed drugs globally. They are widely used for the treatment and management of gastroesophageal reflux disease and peptic ulcers, particularly among older populations. But this raises a critical question: if stomach acid is already declining with age, is suppressing it even further with medications really the right solution? To answer that, we need to examine the science behind gastric acid itself. In a healthy individual, gastric acid in the stomach maintains a pH between 1.5 and 3.5 when at rest, which is highly acidic. After a meal, the pH temporarily rises to about 4 or 5 because food naturally buffers the acid. Over the next few hours, the acid returns to its normal range. This extreme acidity is produced by hydrochloric acid, secreted by parietal cells in the stomach lining. To understand just how acidic this environment is, consider that a pH of 1 is similar to battery acid, while a pH of 3 is comparable to vinegar. Such an acidic environment is not a mistake of evolution, but a critical part of human biology, as it allows for the breakdown of protein, the release of minerals from food, and the destruction of harmful microbes. However, with aging, the secretion of hydrochloric acid declines, raising the stomach's pH and making it less acidic. This seemingly small shift has wide-ranging consequences. When acidity is too low, symptoms such as heartburn, acid reflux, indigestion, bloating, and frequent belching often appear. These symptoms are usually interpreted by mainstream medicine as signs of too much acid, and in reality, it is usually the result of insufficient acid. With inadequate acidity, food does not digest properly, but instead begins to ferment. This fermentation produces gas and pressure, which can cause the ileocecal valve to malfunction. As a result, stomach contents may move upward into the esophagus, leading to the burning sensation known as heartburn. While conventional medicine often attempts to reduce acid further with proton pump inhibitors or antacids, the root of the problem is actually the opposite: a lack of sufficient stomach acid. As you age, your stomach environment becomes more alkaline, which then interferes with digestion and nutrient absorption. So how can this problem be addressed? The answer lies in one simple ingredient that can transform digestion for people over 50. It is natural, affordable, and easy to use. That ingredient is apple cider vinegar, often abbreviated as ACV. We recommend the well-known Bragg's brand. Before we go deeper into the science of apple cider vinegar, please take a moment to like and subscribe to today's video so you never miss important health updates. Apple cider vinegar begins as an apple juice that undergoes a 2-stage fermentation process. Its most important active compound is acetic acid, the hero. which forms during fermentation and is responsible for many of its health benefits. The process starts with crushed apples that are mixed with yeast and a carbohydrate source such as sugar. Natural bacteria and yeast ferment the mixture, converting the carbohydrates into alcohol. In the second stage, a colony of beneficial bacteria and enzymes, commonly referred to as the mother, converts that alcohol into acetic acid. This same principle applies to the making of beer, wine, and other vinegars. 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar contains approximately 750 milligrams of acetic acid, which is a clinically relevant amount. Human studies have demonstrated that 1 tablespoon of vinegar at 5% acidity can influence how the gut absorbs sugars and carbohydrates. What makes apple cider vinegar especially valuable for seniors is that it mimics the natural gastric acid that is lost with age. As we grow older, a series of physiological changes affect our nutrition and digestion. Malnutrition becomes surprisingly common among older adults and is a major factor in reduced quality of life, increased illness, and higher mortality. Our lean body mass declines, while fat mass increases, reducing overall metabolism and changing nutritional requirements. Seniors need fewer calories, but require higher protein intake. At the same time, gastric acid secretion declines, stomach emptying slows, and a feeling of fullness occurs earlier. This combination makes it difficult for older adults to meet their nutritional needs. The small intestine also loses some of its efficiency in absorbing macronutrients such as protein, fat, and carbohydrates, along with essential vitamins and minerals. Calcium absorption depends on an acidic stomach environment, and when stomach acid is lacking, calcium is poorly absorbed. When calcium is not properly absorbed, it tends to accumulate in soft tissues throughout the body, a process known as soft tissue calcification. Over time, this can lead to arthritis, osteoporosis, kidney stones, gallstones, cataracts, neuritis, and even dental tartar. Protein digestion also suffers, leading to deficiencies that affect muscle mass, bone health, and immune function. When seniors visit doctors with complaints such as bloating, gas, stomach discomfort, or indigestion, they are often told they have excess stomach acid. In response, they are typically prescribed calcium tablets, proton pump inhibitors, or H2 blockers. What do these medicines do? Inhibit production of HCl. Does this aid digestion? No. Do you absorb nutrients and calcium? No. The undigested food sits, which starts to ferment, off gas, and eventually rot, seeping into the bloodstream, which then leads to an immune response. Worse news, guess what is required for calcium absorption in the stomach? HCl. HCl is also essential for calcium absorption, which means that proton pump inhibitors indirectly contribute to osteoporosis and arthritis. Furthermore, an upper gut that is fermenting rather than digesting and becomes a risk factor for SIBO, Helicobacter pylori infection, malabsorption, chronic infections, arthritis, osteoporosis, and even cancers of the esophagus, stomach, and large bowel. As many tumors are driven by inflammation. Chronic digestive inflammation lays the foundation for more serious diseases. This is why maintaining an acidic stomach is so important. Acid not only digests protein, but also kills harmful microbes that enter with food. Digestion then continues in the duodenum, where bicarbonate neutralizes the acid and bile salts break down fats, while pancreatic enzymes further digest proteins and carbohydrates. Without the first step of proper stomach acidity, the entire digestive chain is disrupted. Just 1 teaspoon of ACV before meals can eradicate many of these symptoms and conditions. By the age of 50, gastric secretion naturally declines. In women, this change often coincides with menopause, while in men it occurs gradually over time. Without hydrochloric acid, food lingers too long in the small intestine and ferments. Fermentation in the upper gut produces alcohol and acetaldehyde, leading to brain fog, fatigue, and even mood disturbances. Some studies suggest that gut microbes may influence brain chemistry by fermenting neurotransmitters and producing compounds that can mimic stimulants or deplete essential brain chemicals like serotonin and GABA. This can contribute to anxiety, depression, or cognitive decline. Fermentation also produces gases such as hydrogen sulfide, nitric oxide, and ammonia, all of which can have toxic effects. Rather than nourishing the human body, undigested food ends up nourishing bacteria, encouraging their overgrowth and worsening fermentation. This also explains common symptoms in seniors, such as bloating, excessive gas, foul-smelling breath, and abdominal discomfort. When these problems occur, eating itself can become difficult, and many seniors begin to avoid meals or eat less than they need, further contributing to malnutrition and loss of vitality. Low stomach acid also severely limits vitamin B12 absorption. The effects of hypochlorhydria, or low stomach acid, can manifest in many ways, including accelerated aging due to nutrient deficiencies, bloating, gas, and irritable bowel syndrome-like symptoms, increased risk of food allergies from undigested proteins, gastroesophageal reflux disease, iron deficiency anemia, vitamin B12 deficiency, and an overgrowth of harmful bacteria or candida infections. Thankfully, there are ways to address low stomach acid naturally. Apple cider vinegar is one of the simplest and most effective solutions. By acidifying the stomach, it restores digestion and helps with the breakdown of protein and absorption of minerals. Another option is taking ascorbic acid, or vitamin C, at mealtimes. When combined with mineral supplements, this creates an acidic environment that enhances mineral uptake. A third approach involves betaine hydrochloride supplements, which must be taken with meals. The dosage is adjusted gradually, starting with 1 capsule and increasing based on tolerance and response. Over time, with dietary adjustments and a faster metabolism, many people can alleviate digestive discomfort. With the right knowledge and simple strategies like apple cider vinegar, seniors can overcome digestive problems that have plagued them for years. Better digestion means better nutrient absorption, stronger bones, improved energy, and a healthier immune system. Thank you for watching.